we decided we would do our first ever Q&A. So.
Woo woo!
Woot woot.
Thanks for joining.
Well, you got the questions.
Oh, that's true. I do have the questions. So, Silent Terrain asked us how many miles we've put on so far.
So far we have put 15,000 miles, just over 15,000 miles on the bus. Largely a big portion of that was in the last 90 days. We drove it right off the bat when we bought it, just about 1,600 miles, because we bought it in Ohio and did a little trip down to Pittsburgh and then all the way across to Colorado. So right there, we just burned its first 1,500-ish, 1,600 miles.
That was, our first trip was about 1,600 miles. And then our second trip we did right after we got married with Nico.
About 5,200 miles.
We went to the West Coast in Oregon and played around on the 101 for a little bit. Couldn't do the one because it was closed due to mudslides. So, and Nico wasn't doing so hot. And Chase broke his elbow in the redwoods. So we came home. Yeah, so that was the second trip, and then the third trip we just did with the last Renegades, where we made a break, a beast to the east, I called it, and we went all the way to the east coast to Portland, Maine. So we did Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine, and our first trip was bringing her home. So, yeah, a whopping total of 15,000 miles.
All right, Paul K. Art, are you guys rich? Good question.
I wish.
We are not rich. We do okay. I've done well in investments over the last year, enough to kind of keep us floating, and has turned out well through some trades and selling some different stocks and crypto. That is a big part of how we make our money. Obviously, you see that the property we are currently on is very nice. Kenzie's mom does have a very nice farm, but we are not funded by our families. We do fund ourselves.
We're not trust fund bus life people or anything. If that's what you're thinking, that is the exact opposite. I love this farm where I grew up, but before bus life, we were essentially living paycheck to paycheck, paying rent. So we really wanted to kibosh that, and I'm happy we did. I prefer paying for gas than rent.
Yeah, and I think I've mentioned this, but I had a brick and mortar business for almost a decade. Was doing that when we met, and COVID obviously didn't go great for brick and mortar, and especially brick and mortar that was in the fitness industry and health and wellness, which is what I've done for the last 20 years. I've done all sorts of stuff, so I've always been kind of a nomadic person, traveled around, done tons of different jobs, everything from living in an ashram to kelp harvesting to working the Green Triangle to construction work, wait staff, the usual stuff that everybody else has done, working in retail and things like that. And I just have picked up different skills. I did photography for quite a while. I still do photography. Now I'm moving into videography, which I'm really enjoying. But the answer to that question is no, we are not rich. We are fortunate that her mom has a very nice piece of land that we are able to park on when we are in a situation like this where the bus won't move. But generally, we are mostly on the road and traveling, and we do fund ourselves, and most of that currently is through trading crypto and stocks, and hopefully one day some of that is YouTube. Currently, we make nothing off of YouTube. We just do it because we really enjoy it, and because Jen and Charlie gave us the little push we needed to get over the discomfort of hopping in front of a camera. And they just said, hey, we're going to tell people about your channel, so you better have something this week. And
better put it up.
Poof, there it was. We made a trailer.
Chase did it.
And since then, we've been trying to be pretty good at putting one of these videos out at least twice a week. And we're going to continue to do that.
I'm shocked we haven't missed anything, because it's been really, it's been rough with the bus broken down. It doesn't move. Obviously, most of you are here for adventure, and we're not doing too much adventuring. I am currently working again, minimum wage, at a bar. So, yeah, we're not rich. All right. Thanks for that question, Paul. Let's see. Greg Farnham asks, what's the miles per gallon range from on buses? They can't be efficient. Greg, you are right.
It is not good.
We do not get great gas mileage. 8 is our sweet spot, 8 miles per gallon. I know. The worst we ever did was like 2 or 4 when we just like went pass over pass over pass from Durango
We did
to
4 passes.
it was 3.
Three passes. Basically, they're right in a row because if you're familiar with Telluride, it basically sits in the middle of what used to be a volcano, and so the ridges on all the sides are just straight climbs.
10,000 feet at least, and back down to 10,000 feet.
We basically climbed 10,000 feet 3 times in a row, and then also on the way down, we're very heavy, so we have to put it in tow haul mode.
It's
So yes, gas sucks. You pay a little extra for the luxury of having more space.
Thanks for that question, Greg. Your turn.
All right. The Great Bungholio asks, do you guys plan on meeting up with Jen and Charlie soon? Great question. Yes.
Oh my God, yes. I miss them so much. I almost feel like grabbing the radio and just do a check real fast.
They're the Lost Renegades. We're the Bus Life Pirates.
Together, we are the Lost Pirates.
Yeah, the Lost Pirates. And the Lost Pirates will be back together soon enough.
I miss them. Jen, I love you. All right. Next question.
WWPMD. That one's for Charlie.
PPMD.
Just disgrace. A disgrace.
Oh, man. I'm not a disgrace. You love me. Bunny Plays here. Love her. We actually met her at Gutted, but Bunny Plays here asks, what inspires you when you travel?
Oh,
we might have different answers, so you go first.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Also, check her channel out. Another little drop. She's got an awesome channel where she goes around and explores all sorts of cool places.
Super informative.
So, what was the question?
Oh, damn.
What inspires me when we travel?
What inspires you when we travel?
What inspires me when we travel? I'm very inspired by the fact that this country has so much to offer. There are so many landscapes and so many different places that you wouldn't know even exist here. I think because unfortunately America is the land of strip malls, and you can go anywhere and you have the same Starbucks and Qdoba and Chipotle and whatever. It's really easy to get lost in that, but we forget sometimes, because if you live in a metropolis or if you do stay near your same area, you forget that like how big our country really is and how many beautiful landscapes there are. I mean, it's unbelievable. Everything from lush forests with beautiful moss growing everywhere and waterfalls to the Grand Canyon with like beautiful desert landscapes and Zion, and there's just endless beauty. And I think waking up each day and chasing that new beautiful spot or finding that place that fills your heart is very inspiring to me. I've always said I would rather be broke and live a different day each day than be rich and live the same day every day. So for me, that's a big inspiration, is just I want each day to be something new and wonderful and to learn. And yeah, so that's what inspires me is having a new beautiful day each day, even though some of those days are us learning lessons about how to deal with the consequences of putting many miles on your vehicle all the time. At the end of the day is so worth it, and the places we see, the people we meet, the community around this is also inspirational.
Mine, I feel like what inspires me when we travel, probably 2-part answer. Some of it kind of touches on what you said, but I'm a big plant nerd. So when we went to PNW, like I was just kind of in awe every single day of the foliage and like the different ecosystem that's up there, animals. Like I really like nature quite a bit. Like I love herbs and playing with plants and the different like medicinal properties they have. So I do like a self-study of herbology, and have been for like a couple of years. I like plants quite a bit, so it inspires me to see the landscapes and just how like drastic they can change in this country, like from where you go. So that's really cool. Love that part. And then also the people, like just the random little moments you have when you're on the road of meeting super nice people. And when you travel in a bus, like we get the peace sign and like the thumbs up all the time, which is really cool. People are like mostly overall pretty positive when we meet them, and like they kind of figure out what our lifestyle is all about. So I'd say the people we meet and the planties, because I I love plants. So that's my answer.
All right, so our next question is Haley. This is actually Kenzie's sister. So she said,
I did her.
best and worst part about bus life. Worst can't be about my favorite nephew, which is Nico, our dog. The downside for me, the biggest one is leaving friends behind. No matter how close you are to somebody, at some point with this lifestyle, you're gonna have to be like, all right, I'll see you soon, and then head your direction, and they head their direction, or they stay where they are, and you're heading to the next place. The best part about this, I guess, could be compounded on top of that is, once again, the community. The group of people that we meet while we're traveling, like, have been so amazing. Like Bunny plays here, super nice. Lady Bugout was really a unbelievably sweet human. We've just met people on the road that are so interested. For every person that's like, oh, you live in a bus, like, ew.
Which we don't get a lot of.
Not a lot of.
Not a lot.
But for every one of those, that's what I was going to say. For every one of those, there's like 200 people that are like, that is so cool. And oh my God, like, tell me about it. Where's your favorite place you've seen? Or,
I'm jealous. I wish I did that.
Yeah. And the amount of people, it's like that icebreaker, right? So like, we, I think, live in a society where at this current moment, especially with COVID recently happening, introverts are more introverted. Extroverts are dying to have that communication and time with people, to the point where maybe they come on a little strong sometimes because they're just so excited to talk to you, or talk to a person outside of like quarantine. And yes, things are getting back to normal, but who knows? I mean, it literally changed the landscape of our whole country. But yeah, and now we're dealing with all the variants. But I really think the community is one of the top pluses for me. And then also, again, like, just getting to see new places and having a newfound respect regularly for the beauty that this country and this planet provides. We're obviously getting ready to travel internationally. Can't bring the bus with us, but we'll be taking you guys along on that one. And then we'll be back and hopefully meeting up with Jen and Charlie.
Megan and Matt really pulled through on our Q&A for us.
Yeah, thank you, Megan and Matt.
A bunch of questions.
Check out their channel also.
I think Matt runs the Instagram. I'm not sure because Megan works full time. But thank you guys. We appreciate you. So we're going to pepper your questions in with other people's. How'd you come up with the name?
So Pirates goes back for me a long ways.
Just show them.
Okay, well, give me a dang second. Jeez, a little background of why it's even there.
Easy, bitch.
So Pirates goes back a long ways for me. It was the motorcycle club that I was part of. Even before the motorcycle club, like, me and my buddy James, my first foray into traveling was really backpacking, and me and him took off like right out of high school and decided we were going to walk across the country. And during that time, we were very inspired by Hunter S. Thompson and gonzo journalism, and we both wanted to be journalists. And so we went on this backpacking trip, and we called ourselves Gonzo Pirates. So that's where it really originated. I mean, it's literally tattooed on there. Let's see. There we go. Boop. Why the obsession with pirates, I think, is just, to me, it was the idea of living a alternative lifestyle, kind of just, stealing my life back. Because to me, we're very much born into a system where we're told this is the only way you can do it. We live in a society that is now starting to come around to the idea that not every lifestyle is for everyone, and that there are other alternatives. But when I first started this, it was probably like 2004 or 2005 maybe, when we really started traveling a lot. And it was a different time. I still had to use a atlas to figure out road directions. Not to age myself too much, but like literally, like these things like that we take for granted, Google Maps and things like that, that wasn't an option when I was younger. So like we left, we had a flip phone for emergencies to call 911 or to like let our family know we were alive, and an atlas and a bag of grain and backpacks, and we just started walking. And that's the first way I saw this country, and was really inspired. Some long answer from me, but it's because it goes so far back. So we came up with the name because bus life obviously is what we're doing, even though I think that fits into that larger umbrella. I think most people just know van life as the umbrella of all of that. But bus life and then pirates. And to me, I just went, oh, bus life pirates. And our bus is called Yar. So it's still the Yar bus, but we are the bus life pirates.
Pirates life for me.
From Lost Chaz, or the Lost Renegades, is Charlie. How much can one dead ass?
The limit does not exist.
Yeah, endless amounts. Bet.
Endless amounts.
Okay.
Facts.
Facts.
Forget about it. Oh, right. That was the shortest answer you've given so far.
It's an easy answer, you know. It's you can. I just learned some New York slang, so like, dead ass has become a ongoing thing.
Brick.
Yeah.
It was brick as fuck the other morning.
Yeah, for real.
So cold.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go back to a Megan and Matt question because they're awesome. Let's see. Who swabs the poop deck? That's going to be, whatever. I do it too.
Yeah.
So that's in
She's
relation
never
to
swabbed the poop deck. She's swabbed the pee deck.
Okay, well, whatever.
Unless we're talking the actual terminology of the poop deck, in which case
it's the
then
bed.
she does.
Yeah, I make the bed.
So it's kind of
back of the bus.
Yeah, it would be the rear of the ship.
But what I think that's referencing is we have a Nature's Head composting toilet, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the bus. I typically, I will do the liquids container, but I have yet to. We've only cleaned out the compost, the solids bin twice, and that was him. But
mainly because we don't really use the solids bin.
All right, another Megan and Matt question. Top left.
All right, Megan and Matt, how many villages have you plundered?
I don't know if I've plundered a whole lot. There's only a few places I've plundered that you haven't. I backpacked all of Central America alone, and like 5 or 6 years ago, it was wonderful. I plan on taking Chase there because I grew up a lot in as far as my mental state and who I am, like Costa Rica had a really big play on that when I was being a beach bum and working and living down there. So those are villages I've plundered that you haven't. But this last trip was like the most firsts I've ever had. For sure. It was like first lobster roll, first time in Maine, first time in Vermont, first time in New Hampshire, like first time in New York City, Brooklyn, and the best pizza ever. Still waiting on you to mail me that bag, by the way, so I can huff it. A little rude. I haven't seen it yet.
For those of you who didn't catch what that means, the best pizza place in New York, their pizza comes in a bag.
Giuliana's.
And if you watch Lost Renegades video, they got Giuliana's, and Kenzie texts and just says she wants to like smell the bag.
I do. It's the best lunch sack ever.
I just want to go eat there every day.
It's the best lunch sack ever. I think, are we done with questions now? I know there was one that I wanted to. Oh yeah. Who's the captain and who's the first mate?
I'm the captain.
We'll let you guys answer that. Answer down below who you think the captain is.
Obviously the guy who drives like 98%. I captain the ship.
I have nothing to say to that.
I fix the ship. I drive the ship. You
sail the ship.
I do all the captain stuff.
He sails it.
She is a great first mate, though. She takes care of pretty much everything else. So, yeah. So when a drawer comes flying open because it wasn't locked, her fault.
Wait, what?
All right, we're out.
You mean I saved? Well, I thought Chase is rude and always cuts me off. He always blames it on me, but
it is her fault. I'll do this. I'll go, all right, thank you. We'll talk to you. And she goes, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really?
He's inconsiderate.
You couldn't pick up when I say, all right, thanks. Okay, thank you. Oh, great. See you guys later. That is when we're ending. No? I bet you guys get it, right? Like if you're standing there and somebody goes, thanks, and that's a wrap.
Who would want to cut this off?
Do you see that? It can't help it. It's like built. It's like a broken thing in there. I say
a broken thing. Shut up! No, it's not.
There's a wire that got.
I thought
connected
we could ask
somewhere else.
Each other a question.
All right, hold on. Go ahead. We're gonna do what?
Ask each other a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't told we were doing this, so go ahead and why don't you ask me a question there, little sweet woman.
oh, now I'm a sweet woman. I'm not the broken thing. You
No.
point to this general.
You're not a broken thing. There is a broken thing somewhere in there that there's a little
It's my-
synapses in her brain that when I say, "All right, thanks guys, we'll see you later,"
My medulla oblongata acts up
her
all
mouth
ornery.
just starts talking. It just happened again. It's like
If you could change one thing about our bus, what would it be?
if I could change one thing about our bus, what would it be? That's a good question and a very easy one for me because I've thought about it a lot. This closet that she's sitting next to would actually be to the left of your current view. So it would be over next to the bed where our fridge is. And I would have split it so that her countertop was over there and the closet was over here, which would have made it so I could see a lot better from the driver's seat because it's directly behind me and makes so I can basically not see out the mirror at all. So that I would have fixed. Also, it would have put the toilet over in the middle of the bus so that it's not absolutely freezing when you got to use it during the winter. And two, we'd be able to get to our clothes and things and all of our controls and switches that we use to like turn on the heater, check the temperature, turn on the inverter.
That's him
would
being
be
lazy. He wants to do it from bed.
right next to us in bed. So at the end of the night, so here's a play on what happens at the end of the night, because I sleep on the end of the bed that's by the hallway. Mainly to me, it's a security thing. Like if somebody was breaking in, I'd prefer to be the person that's closest to the door. Because actually in our previous beds, I've always been on the other side of the bed.
You could just be like, stop.
Yeah, but stop. Don't.
No.
Don't. Leave us alone. That's what I do. But I sleep on this side of the bed, but that also in turn means at the end of the night, I usually fall asleep first.
Always.
But then I wake back up so that I can go turn off the power, check the heater, turn off the inverter, make sure everything is off that has lights glowing, because I don't like all the glowing lights while I'm sleeping. And then I'm back awake. And so then usually I will pet her head or something until she falls asleep. And then I watch like YouTube videos until I'm tired again, which usually takes a while. So yeah, ups and downs.
It's not all lollipops, cheese, and wonder for me. I have to crawl over him anytime I want to get out of bed. Shoved up in the corner like the redheaded stepchild. Pobrecito.
Pobrecito. I'm there to stop in case somebody comes,
I would just scream at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, and that is why she is not on this side of the bed.
Oh, that's
So my question for you that I didn't know I was going to ask, so I have no idea.
Come on, it's impromptu. You got to just do it.
My question for you is, what is... Well, fuck me.
Okay.
If you could change one thing.
Wow, he's so original.
Okay, hold on. I got this.
I have 3 things and I was trying to weigh them of like what I would change in the bus. It'd be cool to have a shower. But
Wait, man, this isn't my question.
It's not necessary. I know.
Sure.
Well, think about it.
Sure.
I also hate our fridge. For those of you who have an ice cone, love it. Tell me your secrets. I don't like it. Or it's now winter, so it's not as important. But AC would be really cool because like Idaho was 114 degrees when we were there. It was insane. So I don't know. I can't really pick one, but immediate I'd probably.
Here's one I have. If the kitchen could be arranged differently, how would you arrange it?
Absolutely not. I love my kitchen. Oh, well, I guess
so
throw the fridge out. No, it's $700. I want to throw it out.
We're going to sell the fridge and get her a fridge, because Lost Renegades fridge is a normal fridge and she tried it and now we can never go back and the ice co's horrible. The ice co was just fine. But now...
It's irritated me since the moment I slammed my finger in it. Was that your question?
Yep, that was my question.
Oh, wow. Authentic.
That was a good question.
So authentic.
Well, the kitchen
kidding.
is your favorite thing.
No, I do love my kitchen.
And I'm the most authentic.
I do love my kitchen. Your favorite thing in the bus? Favorite?
Nespresso.
Ha! Yeah.
Yeah.
Bougie coffee.
So yeah, all right. That's it, folks.
That's all, folks.